Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, and I'm tired of rubber boots. And I'm also tired of MAGA representatives knowing what they're saying and doing is wrong, but leading Trump supporters, MAGA supporters, voters down the wrong path, which they have done for years. They have made Trump supporters, voters, so leery of a deep state. You know, the wealthy's taken over and they're not doing anything for you. And, even though some of that, I still think it's fantasy as far as, the wealthy caused us not to be able to get the care and the programs and all of those things that Americans need, because that's never been an issue until now. And MAGA representatives know this is wrong. They want to suppress intelligence or hearing anything other than what they're telling the people of the United States. And I'm going to bring up a couple of quotes. One was from Representative Hageman. She's in Wyoming. And it was very telling when she made this comment. She said, "It is very bizarre how obsessed you are with federal government." That statement alone, that statement alone is unconstitutional because we live in a democracy and we, the people, vote. Okay? We, the people, feel. We, the people, speak out. We, the people, are what's important to our country. When you run a country like a business without a union, like a business where um, the employees can be fired at will, whatever, right to fire states, then there's a problem because you're not allowing we, the people, to have a voice. And when you question that voice as being bizarre or obsessed, that language right there shows that MAGA knows better. And these MAGA representatives know better. Now, something else was said. I was watching a podcast called All In Podcast. And Lutnick, he is the Commerce Secretary for the United States of America. Okay. He is that weird guy that claps whenever Trump talks and just really, really sickening. I mean, I'm surprised he's allowed to speak because his lips are right on Trump's rear end. But anyway, this is what he was talking about when they were talking about doing Social Security cuts. Okay. When they were talking about Social Security not happening, he referenced his 94-year-old mother in law. Now, you got to understand, Lutnick is extremely wealthy. He is a very wealthy guy. Okay. He owns Tesla stocks. Okay. He owns Tesla stocks. So, of course, he's going to talk about how great Elon is and how you're supposed to buy Teslas. I spent $300 to keep my old piece of crap running. I can't afford a $30,000 car. I'm not going to put myself into a position of having a car payment every month. I just watched my egg turner turn. I get so happy when I see it turn. I don't see it turn very often. Sorry, distraction. Eggs. But this man is praising Elon Musk's companies, saying you need to buy stock, you need to buy Tesla products. Oh, if you don't buy a Tesla robot in the next so many years, you're just silly. What the heck am I going to do with a Tesla robot in on my farm? It's not going to be able to go through mud. I can't put mud boots on it. So this guy doesn't even have the reality to talk to you on your terms of just keeping your old pickup truck running or your old piece of crap car running, or going and finding a used car because you don't want to go into debt with a monthly bill. Okay? But he was talking about his 94-year-old mother-in-law. And this is what he said about her. If her Social Security check didn't come, she wouldn't call and complain. She would just think there was a mistake somewhere. And this is what he said. Anybody knows the easiest way to find the fraudster is to stop payments and listen, because whoever screams is the one stealing. So what he's saying is, okay, you're living on your Social Security because you paid into it, you retired, you didn't have you didn't have a 401k, you didn't have, um, a pension from the company you worked at. So you are absolutely dependent upon that Social Security. And if that Social Security gets cut and you call to find out what's going on, he's calling you a fraudster. He's saying you're stealing. You're stealing your own money that you put in there as you worked your whole life. They should not be touching Social Security, period. And Lucknick, you're an idiot. Oh, there's a few of these MAGA representatives like Stephen Miller, Lucknick, uh, even Hageman. I can't even understand why she would say stuff like, there's so many of them that lie to you. Now, let's talk about what President Trump is doing. Okay? So, people in MAGA want to call themselves patriots. Okay? Well, patriots know, or should know, how and why and when the Constitution counts. The Constitution always counts. That's what our country is based on. Okay? First of all, you've got Trump wanting to take media right to say what needs to be said rather than just, you know, showering our king. So he wants to take away the freedom of speech or freedom of press. He does want to take away freedom of speech. So all of those people that say, oh, well, now we can say Merry Christmas. You could always say Merry Christmas. No one took that away from you. No one said you couldn't practice Christmas. No one. So that was always a big lie. But let's talk about a few other lies that he's been talking about. Now, we know that a lot of MAGA are all for deportation, get rid of all the criminals, blah, 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 blah. Well, what they are doing, sending these people to El Salvador without any kind of documentation of who this person is, why you're calling them a criminal, do they have a criminal, a criminal record? Who are these people you're sending there? And a federal judge says, stop it right now so that we can evaluate what you're doing. We know for sure what's going on. And then you have Pam Bondi, who will take away your guns. Just just wait about that. Just wait. It might be a while, but Pam Bondi wants to take your guns. You'll see. But anyway, Pam Bondi, while the Trump administration is kidnapping people and sending them to El Salvador with a stop from a federal judge, Pam Bondi saying that federal judge has no right to stop this transaction and deportation on these planes to El Salvador. She's wrong. She's lying to you. There are three branches of government. We've already seen Congress. They've already gave up their their say to anything except for what Trump wants. They're ready to cut everything that you need, everything your family needs and the United States needs to be whole. Okay? They're willing to do that for Donald Trump, and that's why I say MAGA knows better. They lie to you. They say that they're for you, they're for our country, but in fact, they're tearing our country apart and allowing Donald Trump to talk about taking over Canada, taking over Greenland, taking over Panama Canal, just crazy stuff. So when is it going to focus back on the people of the United States? It never is. It was never about taking care of the American citizens, we the people. When Hageman says, it's bizarre that you're obsessed with federal government, that should be a red flag to you. Because you should be obsessed with your federal government as we the people of the Constitution and of the United States of America. Lutnick, if some person doesn't get their social security check, they have to pay rent, they have to pay their bills, they have to buy food, they have to do all of these things, and that check doesn't come. He says that if you call about it, then you're stealing, because the only people that are going to speak up are the ones that are stealing. How about the people that are relying on that? And, I have a commenter who was talking about, well, you need to find different insurance, and you need to find a supplement, you need to find this and that. Not every American had that opportunity during their working years to find a job that had a pension, or to find a job where you had a 401k, which right now that's in collapse. So if you retire now, your 401k, you need to build that up, right? So he's telling you to buy some Elon stocks. He's telling you to buy a Cybertruck, but don't cry if your Social Security don't come in, because we know that you're a fraudster then. Pam Bondi is putting herself in a position of where, in my opinion, she should be jailed. She should be impeached, because she's lying and she's wanting to control a whole branch of government. Trump wants you to think he cares about you, and he does not. Elon does not care about you. He does not care about any of those veterans that he's fired or any of the federal workers. They want to chop down our national parks for trees. I mean, there's so much that you need to understand that they're doing, and it's not about the people. Destroying our national parks, taking away women's rights, civil rights, liberties, and making you think that transgenders are this army of people, and it's like, what, less than 1% of a population? I really have a problem with this, because MAGA knows better. You're not a patriot if you follow the criminal king, Donald Trump. And that's it. I've got to go. I've got stuff to do. Bye, y'all. Hugs from a distance.